Good morning, everyone. And now we're looking at a blog post from the Washington Post titled "The Latest Star Wars Film Satisfies the Right Wing. Will the Left Start Trolling?" Don't expect a new Phantom Menace to emerge this time around. Now, before we start, this is the Washington Post. They have their own political disposition, and they also have their own category for this kind of conversation. So this is within what's referred to as the monkey cage. And this is an interpretation of the news based on evidence, including data, as well as anticipating how events might unfold based on past events. So it's not completely some person's opinion. There is some information. But the monkey cage, if you don't know, is a reference to H.L. Mencken, who was a critic of yesteryear, like 50, 60 years ago. And he quotes it. This is for his famous quote: "Democracy is the art of running the circus from the monkey cage." So already you're going to know the people who contribute to this are a little strange. And by strange, we mean a political scientist by the name of Bethany Lacina. However I pronounce her last name, I apologize. So you already know where this is coming from. So if anyone who talks about the right wing, it's usually extremists of the right wing or just everyone on the left. No one actively wants to talk about these things unless they're politically minded. So you already know the bias they're coming from. So how that applies to a bloody movie that's non-political beats the hell out of me. But let's see where she goes with this. Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, leaves theaters soon. Critical reception was middling. Okay, wasn't that great. Whoop-de-da. But right-wing trolling of the film was mild compared to the backlash against TLJ. Yeah, because TLJ was a goddamn horrible movie, and everyone knows, including the left, how bad Rise of Skywalker was. So your flavor of nuclear bomb, okay? This latest movie avoided that ire by moving Star Wars politically right. Okay, so she's claiming the movie, which I haven't seen, so I can't comment on it, moved Star Wars politically right. I don't know that Rey was such a politically minded fellow or girl, or Poe was. I thought they were just freedom fighters, but I don't know. They suddenly turned conservative within the span of a year. So has Lucasfilm replaced its right-wing troll problem? Okay, so is it in the movie, or is it just the fans of the movie? Do fans just change overnight? Oh, let's go watch a movie. Hey, let's now become politically right. Okay. So have they replaced its right-wing troll problem with a left-wing one? Probably not. Compared to the previous film, the fans with less visibility in fandom media and fewer ways to monetize their criticisms. Okay. So the movie slighted fans with less visibility. How did the movie slight fans with less visibility? Does it control like YouTube and Twitter and other social media platforms? Okay, Disney, you're amazing. So right-wing anger. After TLJ, an online campaign took issue with the film's feminism, leftism, and diverse casting. I say that's roughly true, but that's because the movie was so bad we had no other explanation for how bad it was. And fans or critics would go like, well, what's the cause of this? Well, obviously Disney and Rian Johnson and whatever politically minded ideas they had. In case you didn't notice, there were quite a few women in The Last Jedi who were bashing all the men for whatever reason. The right-wing critique was so durable that it has a nickname, the Phantom Menace, which even Lucasfilm uses. Fine, whatever. After anger at TLJ became a business, I would agree, that's true. There's lots of YouTube channels that made lots of money talking about The Last Jedi. I've been talking about The Last Jedi almost nonstop for the past few months, so I've kind of lost the bandwagon. I was like late to the party. Then I realized just how bad the movie is and just how ridiculous the responses are. I find it more entertaining to talk about that, not for money reasons, just because it's something to learn about. Popular anti-TLJ videos on YouTube have millions of hits, translating to tens of thousands of dollars for the creators. That's true. Right-wing personalities sell Phantom Menace apparel. Good for them. I don't care. Entrepreneurs raise $50K in seed money for an anti-TLJ comic book. Really? I didn't know that. And almost $10K for a multi-volume history of the Phantom Menace. So people are making money over being a fan. I see nothing wrong whatever your political ideology is, have a right, have a wrong. I don't care. Congratulations, fans. You're making money. Good for you. Who is this film for? Good question. Many observers see The Rise of Skywalker as an apology to TLJ haters. I don't think that's what the observers of The Rise of Skywalker see. They see a bad movie after another bad movie. Of the 53 reviews by top critics archived on Rotten Tomatoes as of January 15th, 44 describe the movie as a reversal intended to win over the fans. I think it's just JJ trying to solve the problems of the previous movie. I mean, you could say that. It's an argument to win over fans. Of course you want to win over fans. Those are the people who are buying tickets. The Rise of Skywalker invites the perception that it is made with conservative, white, and male audiences in mind. Invites the perception. How does it invite the perception, Miss Bethany? I'm very curious. After suggesting that there would be a same-sex relationship in The Rise of Skywalker, suggesting. Who cares? Filmmakers included two women kissing in the background of a scene, a moment easily censored for overseas markets. Rise of Skywalker nearly eliminates the character Rose Tico, played by Asian American actress Kelly Marie Tran, who was the focal point for right-wing hate after her large role. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to Kelly Marie Tran, but a bunch of people bashing on her or saying her character sucks on social media is not right-wing hate. Okay? Even if you are politically left or whatever, saying, hey, Rose, you suck, is not right-wing hate. And if it is hate, what are these sentences on Twitter doing or whatever platform? You can hate a character and tell the actor that. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Hey, your character, it sucked. So sorry your writer didn't do a good job, or I'm so sorry you didn't get the opportunity to portray a good character. I don't see a problem with that. Now, if you get 1 million of that, that might overload your phone. You always just set it to mute or quiet mode. I like as least distractions as possible on social media, just because there's so much. But that has nothing to do with how popular you are. That's just you knowing how to use technology. So maybe actors don't have time to do that. Okay, cool. But I don't see how this is a problem. I don't see how social media is a problem. You opt into social media. You can always opt out. And there are ways to control traffic. So one critic illustrated all this with a list of the Rise of Skywalker moments that undermine TLJ's commitment to diversity. Really? And of course, it's Paul Tassi from Forbes. I'm not going to go through this, but you know, there's obviously a lot of things that JJ did to try to win back fans, not specific to fans or certain political groups for or against diversity. That's stupid. Unless it is so blatantly clear that JJ was, I don't know, somehow having a political message about being right-winged, which I highly doubt in a Star Wars film. The best we get is George Lucas talking about trade agreements and the Republic and the Senate in the prequel trilogy. So didn't get a lot of politics in J.J. Abrams' Episode 7. Highly doubt there's going to be a lot of politics in Episode 9. For example, the Rise of Skywalker explains that certain feats by women in TLJ were only possible because of help from men or sheer luck. So what? I mean, the Holdo maneuver was apparently 1 in a million. And there's no context. Like this person is obviously not a fan of Miss Lucina is obviously not a fan of Star Wars, or at least the lore of Star Wars, to know that the Holdo maneuver was complete crap. It completely destroyed the concept of space travel and war combat in space. So I don't see. It's just a silly thing to say. It's just so out of context to not know what this means. Despite all this, a left-wing trolling campaign against the Rise of Skywalker isn't likely. Yeah, because they're not fans who know the lore. Everyone knows the movie sucks. And JJ was playing damage control to Rian Johnson. And they can't admit that. They can't say, "Oh yeah, by the way, JJ was trying to fix the Rise of Skywalker." Oh, which because that implies the TLJ sucked. They can't say that. Fandom politics and the nature of internet media will probably curb the anti Rise of Skywalker backlash. I don't think so. I think we're going to keep talking about these horrible movies because they're so big and such a waste and such a horrible misuse of resources and talent that we're going to be talking about this for a long time. We're still talking about TLJ. As soon as I see the Rise of Skywalker, I'll see, oh God, this is a garbled mess. Garbled messes probably won't stand the test of time, but things that are so bad they're worthy of respect and attention, like The Room, The Last Jedi, etc. That's worth talking about. A smaller fandom platform. The most visible Star Wars fan media is made by white men. Really? So we went from one category, which was the right wing. Now we've jumped subcategories into white and now white men. Gee, I think this person's a bit politically minded. I wonder what side of the spectrum she's on. I mean, the good thing about this post is that she actually did some homework. She did some research. She counted the number of shows that had male hosts and the number of people with color and who were women, etc., etc. Bravo, you did some homework and proven nothing. Fans who feel slighted by the movie's politics will not have a comparable platform. Female, non-white, and LGBTQ fans control fewer far outlets? No, there is no conglomerate. You have a YouTube channel or a Twitter handle, and you use it. However big you are is depending on how popular you are. That's all there is to it. The more content you pump out, the more people watch you. It's really that simple. So, get more people who are of these denominations, and you'll get a big platform. That's all it is. There's no correlation between but this is stupid. This whole article is dumb. Let's see the next point. The TLJ and the right-wing media, oh joy. Right-wing anti-TLJ content was helped along by non-Star Wars media as well. Again, I don't know any of these right-wing people who hate The Last Jedi. I'm sure they're out there. But all the critics I talk to criticize the movie, as a story, as a piece of art. They don't come at it from a political perspective. You can, after you lay down the objective properties of the movie, you could give it a perspective, but you don't need to. And why would you? Why would you waste your time? This isn't about politics. It never was. It's about storytelling. So here she's quoting or going to reference The Federalist, The National Review, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is not an alt-right influencer. Are you crazy? The guy keeps harping about how much he hates extremists. Websites specializing in right-wing popular culture expanded their Star Wars coverage to capture anti-TLJ audiences. These platforms also helped right-wing Star Wars outlets grow a new audience. How do you know the audience that these people gain are right-wing? I want to know, where do you get those numbers? I have no idea my political affiliation with my fans. I have no idea what you guys are. And I don't think you really care what my political affiliation is because you're not here to talk about politics. This is not a political channel. Very strange. There is no comparable left-wing media ecosystem where the Rise of Skywalker feeling can thrive and be monetized to the same extent. What? How do you know that? I have people in my discussions who are left-wing, who are politically liberal. Not once have they brought up their views in reference to these movies or reference to the fandom. They just say, yeah, I'm this position, but that doesn't mean I can't use my brain. Implying if you have a political mind, you're not using your brain critically. But they can separate their other aspects of their life from critical analysis, which I greatly appreciate, because I would be sitting there thinking, please move on with the point you're trying to make, sir. I'm not sure what this has to do with Hitler, but we are watching a movie. Bullying the detractors. Oh boy, Raylos. Yeah, let's not talk about that. This is a dumb topic. The backlash ends. Outrage against the latest Star Wars has not matched the campaign against TLJ. Gee, I wonder why. Because everyone across the board realizes the Rise of Skywalker is a pile of crap, whereas TLJ is a pile of crap on another level. There's a whole other reason why The Last Jedi is a bad movie and a bad Star Wars movie, whereas J.J. Abrams just made a mess. Given the middling success of The Rise of Skywalker, it is possible that most viewers preferred TLJ. This is splitting hairs. This is no longer being in the realm of critique. This is like, well, would you rather have something that's somewhat entertaining and tries to appease a fan, or would you rather watch a lore deconstruction of nihilism that leaves you empty and confused and why you were sitting in the theater for all that time? What pain do you want? Like getting stabbed in the arm or the leg? It's up to you. However, The Rise of Skywalker is perceived as a film that slighted less powerful fans. Sorry guys, I'm not powerful enough. In an effort to please conservative fans. How do you know this? That may be enough to hold the backlash in check. No. It's the movie is so bad it's not worth talking about. Whereas The Last Jedi is so bad on a whole other level, we're still talking about it. It's the impact that these horrible films had on the fandom and what that means to critics and the genres thereof, of the space opera genre, of sci-fi, of the EU, if there is going to be an EU, if Star Wars is ever going to continue after this, etc., etc. So, pretty sad. Oh, here we go. She's an associate professor of political science at the University of Rochester. Well, there you go. That was pretty much a given, and we know what side of the aisle she's leaning against. So, yeah, that is pretty much a sad state of explanation, of analysis, of why you would even do a political analysis of the fandom of Star Wars and the speculation that J.J. Abrams wrote a politically minded film specific to the right wing. That is insane. And I still haven't watched the movie, and I could already guess this woman is out to lunch. Thanks for listening, guys. Have yourself a great lunchtime, by the way, and we'll see you in the next video.